Biden warns Netanyahu of US shift as domestic pressure mounts. President Joe Biden warned Israel of a sharp shift in his policy over the Gaza war Thursday amid growing frustration with Benjamin Netanyahu and mounting domestic pressure in a U.S. election year. A tense phone call between the two leaders appeared to yield at least some results, as Netanyahu's office announced within hours it would temporarily allow more aid to flow into Gaza. Biden has stood solidly behind Israel and its prime minister since Hamas's October 7th attacks. And his criticism of civilian deaths in Gaza has not stopped Washington from supplying military hardware to its key ally. What the left has bequeathed us. The left has created new rules for national politics. Here are some precedents they now have established for America in the future. 1. When in control of the Senate, demand the end of the filibuster. When not, don't. 2. Call for the end of the Electoral College, but only if it appears to recently favor the candidate of the opposition. 3. In an election year, change any state balloting laws deemed unhelpful through administrative fiat or court order to favor your political candidate. 4. Seek to flip electors from voting in accordance with the popular vote count in their states. Indict as an insurrectionist any of the opposition who dare do the same. 5. Raid the home of any opposition ex-president who removed classified files. Exempt any sitting president of your party who did the same. 6. Swarm the private homes of, and then bully and intimidate any Supreme Court officials, politicians, or citizens you oppose. Biden bribery allegations. Grand jury accuses key source of lying. The U.S. Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation seem to have their wires crossed over a key witness in the Hunter Biden bribery investigation. DOJ Special Counsel David Weiss announced a grand jury issued an indictment against Alexander Smirnov. According to the DOJ, Smirnov, 43, was charged with making a false statement in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1001 and creating a false and fictitious record in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1519 for statements he made that were recorded in an official record by the FBI. Smirnov reportedly was arrested in Las Vegas upon arrival at Harry Reid International Airport from an overseas flight. Democrats, in line with most media outlets, are calling Smirnov a liar, while playing up the notion that Republicans would seem no longer to have a bribery case against Hunter Biden and his father, Joe. U.S. facing serious security threat, top lawmakers. The United States is facing a new and serious national security threat, top officials warned Wednesday, with two media outlets reporting it involves a Russian attempt to build a space-based nuclear capability. ABC News and the New York Times quoted unidentified officials saying that Russia was developing a nuclear, space-based anti-satellite weapon. According to officials quoted in the Times, Russia has not yet deployed such a capability. In public, officials said there was no need for panic, but refused to give details, only issuing cryptic statements about a serious matter, which is set to be discussed in a closed-doors meeting between congressional leaders and the White House on Thursday. The first inkling of something unusual came from U.S. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Michael Turner, who abruptly issued a statement referring to a serious national security threat. I am requesting that President Biden declassify all information relating to this threat so that Congress, the administration, and our allies can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to this threat, he said. Unidentified sources told NBC and CNN the threat was a highly concerning Russian military capability, without providing further details. Turner and his Democratic counterpart Jim Himes said in a letter to lawmakers the panel had identified an urgent matter with regard to a destabilizing foreign military capability that should be known by all congressional policymakers. They said the committee had voted on Tuesday to make classified information available in a secure location for review by lawmakers until Friday. Himes urged caution, however, in a separate statement in which he described the intelligence as significant but not a cause for panic. The Republican House Speaker, Mike Johnson, also urged caution, telling reporters at the Capitol that there is no need for public alarm. Trump wants delay in election interference trial as Jack Smith continues to trash democracy. President Trump has asked the Supreme Court to lengthen the delay in the trial that comes from special counsel Jack Smith's 20202 election interference fantasy, stating that he has presidential immunity that protects him from prosecution. The former president's lawyers filed an emergency appeal with the Supreme Court Monday afternoon, only days following a ruling in the matter by the D.C. Appeals Court says that Trump, who is the 2024 Republican frontrunner for president, is not immune from being prosecuted in Smith's case. Trump's request asks for temporary relief to stay or block the appeals court decision from taking place. The purpose is to give Team Trump more time to file an appeal in the Supreme Court to decide whether a former president has immunity from criminal prosecution on action that were taken while in office, a matter that has held the standard that is in favor of Trump. The trial that comes from Smith's case remains on hold awaiting a resolution of the immunity decision. The Justice Department could request an expedited decision of the initial emergency appeal. The result will be that such prosecutions will be common, leading to a destructive cycle of recrimination. This will cast a looming shadow over every future presidency by weaponizing every political opponent by extortion or blackmail with an explicit or implicit threat of indictment by future hostile administration. This prosecution will only trash democracy for generations. One of Trump's spokespersons said this is a powerhouse filing, and without proper immunity, a president will never be able to function correctly. This filing comes after D.C. federal judge Tanya Chutkan delayed the trial that was set to begin on March 4th, just a day before Super Tuesday primaries in Alabama, Alaska, American Samoa, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Vermont. Smith charged Trump with conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Trump pled not guilty to all charges in August 2023. Systems down, Vegas casinos undergoing strange cyber attacks. MGM Properties, Caesars Entertainment, and other Las Vegas properties are enduring their 8th day of suspicious cyber attacks. The attacks first began the morning of Sunday, September 10th, and have shown very little signs of slowing down. The very next day, September 11th, came an onslaught of system failures throughout MGM Properties, leaving websites, ATMs, slot machines, and majority of financial transactions disabled at the area, and throughout other casinos under the MGM umbrella. It appeared that September 12th and 13th got the worst of the attacks, as they had spread from MGM Properties to Caesars Entertainment. All apps, websites, and phone lines were knocked out at both casino umbrellas. Guests had limited access to any kiosks, ATMs, and credit card transactions within these casinos. Many have also reported unusual charges to their credit cards, but have not been able to view their charges and receipts during their stays. Elevators have been down, and people have been kicked out of their hotel rooms with faulty room keys. All employee portals had gone haywire, leaving employees no choice but to check in and cash out guests by hand. According to a local source in the Las Vegas area, people are just abandoning machines with money still left in them. This all comes at the speculation of a group of cyber attackers being paid off an estimated $30 million by Caesars Properties, for reasons still unknown. MGM Properties released a statement in an attempt to alleviate public concerns and have since offered free parking at all of their casinos. Signs finally seem to turn in the right direction on September 14th, with systems beginning to come back online, and property amenities such as restaurants, shows, and spas up and running once again. Employees at all of the casinos under attack have also been assured that they will still receive their paychecks on time. When September 15th rolled around, many casinos picked up their foot traffic. Signage could be found everywhere, making guests aware of the current cyber situation. At MGM Properties, credit card transactions still were under caution, and rooms could only be booked via third-party providers. On September 16th, a massive outage was reported at the Venetian Resort. No other reports have been made about the condition of the casino since the outage took place. By September 17th, services at MGM Properties had been disclosed to be in full operation, though there continues to be evidence suggesting otherwise. MGM Properties' website remains the hub for frequently asked questions on the pressing cyber issue. In addition, Harrah's Hotel and Casino is facing abnormal outages, but is not disclosing any further details on the situation.
It's the next era of the Taylor Swift travel boom. Are you ready for it? According to a Skyscanner travel trends report, 44% of Americans polled would take a short flight to see their favorite musician or band in concert, with 18% saying they'd fly farther. That rises to 60% if it means paying less for concert tickets. In 2024, these gig trip travelers combine their curiosity for new experiences and desire to explore the world with their love of their favorite artist to craft once-in-a-lifetime vacations. One show definitely fueling global travel, the record-breaking Taylor Swift Eras Tour resumes this month with 85 sold-out stadium shows in Asia-Pacific, Europe, Canada, and the United States. According to Lighthouse data, the Eras Tour will create the highest room rate of the year for each city it passes through. For example, Amsterdam hotels are up $173, Cardiff, Wales is up $162, and Dublin is up $108. The demand for the August concert weekend in Vienna is notably higher compared to other weekends, with several five-star properties and accommodations near the stadium already fully booked. Adds Helen Bichna, B2B Communication and Media Relations, Austrian Tourist Office, Inc., a Virtuoso preferred partner. The anticipation surrounding Taylor Swift's concerts has undeniably created a surge in demand for accommodations, reflecting the significant impact on tourism in Vienna during this period.
Trump promises to restore gun freedoms in Pennsylvania speech. Former President Donald Trump said Friday he'd never limit gun rights for Americans amid surging crime, border insecurity and global instability, all side effects of a Democratic administration he deems corrupt and immoral. Now I stand before you with a very simple promise. Your Second Amendment will always be safe with me as your president, he said. When I'm back in the Oval Office, no one will lay a finger on your firearms. It's not going to happen. Trump's pledge came during a 75-minute speech at the Great American Outdoor Show in Pennsylvania's capital city of Harrisburg as he chases the Republican presidential nomination. Even as they turn America into a crime-ridden, gang-infested, terror-filled dumping ground, Joe Biden and his thugs will do everything in their power to confiscate your guns and annihilate your God-given right to self-defense, he said. During the event hosted by the National Rifle Association, the former president recalled his efforts to protect and expand gun rights during his first term, including opening federal land for public hunting access, reversing an executive order that limited ownership rights for some Social Security recipients, and withdrawing from the United Nations Arms Trade Treaty, where basically they take your guns, Trump said. He also committed to undoing a federal rule that recategorizes pistol braces as short-barreled rifles, compelling registration of the weapons lest owners face a felony charge punishable by up to 10 years in prison. 25 states have challenged the rule in federal court. Without his intervention, Trump painted a bleak picture. It means hundreds of more radical left judges waging a crusade against law-abiding gun owners, and 4 more years of Joe Biden means a non-stop war on gun makers, dealers and sellers designed to put the entire industry right out of business, he said. He didn't forget to skewer the Department of Justice's decision against charging President Joe Biden for mishandling classified documents over his 40-plus years in office, either, calling his own infractions peanuts comparatively. Trump's speech comes after a visibly upset Biden addressed the nation late Thursday to respond to a special counsel investigation that laid bare numerous examples of his memory loss. The blockbuster special counsel report, while clearing Biden, sparked questions about the 81-year-old president's mental fitness when it called him an elderly man with a poor memory. Trump didn't mince words on Friday, warning that the world teeters on the edge of World War III. We have a guy that can't put 2 sentences together and he's in charge of negotiations with Russia, with China, with North Korea, he said.